My name is John Noble. I'm director of the British Brands Group. We're an organisation that represents brand manufacturers in the UK. And particularly we provide the voice for brands and we champion brands. Branded companies are based on reputations. And reputations are built not just by the excellence of the products that you produce, but also how you produce them. And so the responsibility with which you do your business, that means the materials you use, whether they're produced in a sustainable way, the way in which you treat people, the way in which you, the ethics with which you want to take your business, I think have always been important to consumers. And I just think that importance is growing and growing and growing. But when you get branded companies, you get investments behind that kind of responsible way of doing business. And that is a benefit to the wider economy, not just to the individual consumer buying the products. But I think the benefits of brands goes much stronger to society, and that all comes down to the innovation point, that if a brand is making a promise to consumers to help the way in which they live their lives, then they've got to continue to innovate behind it. And that leads to better ways of us living our lives, better ways for working. And I would argue that a lot of those innovations is branded companies using science, using R&D, but interpreting it and presenting it in a way to consumers that they can actually use in their everyday lives, and that is important. The role of branding in the economy, I think is particularly telling at this particular moment where we're facing the tough economic climate that we are. And that, if you are a government and you're wanting to compete, brands are extraordinarily important things to have in your armoury. And that is because they drive innovation. They're relevant to SMEs as they are to large companies. If you look at, the Virgins and where they came from, it was a mail order record company on the back of New Musical Express. That was the origin of Virgin, grew from that into the multinational company we see today. If you look at Innocent Drinks, started off, 3 people, and that was, just a little over a decade ago, into the company it is today. We've seen Green and Black's chocolate, small company, now a much larger company, now owned by Kraft Foods. And so this is an important driver for economic success because it is a way of, as I said, commercializing innovation. But also it's a very important driver for exports. And if you go to India, you will find that Johnnie Walker, for example, is the drink to drink in India. And whiskey, for example, amounts to something like 25% of all Scotland's exports. Pretty well all of it is branded. And so, if you're wanting to build export performance, if you're wanting to commercialize innovation, if you're wanting to get SMEs more successful, encouraging them to build their brands, build their closer relationships with their individual consumers, that's a strong way to go. The benefits of brands to society is also part of, successful companies and what they deliver in the broader context. So actually, the success of companies, the success of branded companies contributes to our healthcare, our education, a lot of the things that are important to all of us and the way in which we live our lives as a society in the UK. That all needs to be funded. That funding is driven by business, and branding is a very good way of delivering value for businesses, as well as all the other people who are affected by it. So branding is a win-win-win. It's a win for companies, it's a win for the economy, it's a win for society, and it's a win for the consumers. And that's what makes branding such a powerful force. My name is John Noble of the British Brands Group, and ideas matter because they build brands, and brands provide a win-win-win for companies, consumers, society, and the economy at large. Everybody is a winner.